Alright guys, MTech Guy here. We've got a little job on with the E60 M5 today. We're going to take a look at changing out the relays for the Smg gearbox. So let's take a look at what we've got here. Okay, so there's two relays that relate to the Smg gearbox. Now the first one, the black one, this one's for the Smg Hydraulic Pump. Now this is the pump that's used to prime and maintain the hydraulic pressure and is ultimately used to shift gears and operate the clutch. And then the pale green relay here, this one's for your gear oil pump. Now this is the pump that transfers the oil in the gearbox through the cooler on the side of the gearbox. Now then, there seems to be a lot of confusion within the M5 community with regards to which relays are which and the colours and whatnot. Now when you mention Smg relay, a lot of people immediately talk about the Salmon Relay. Now that's a salmon pink coloured relay. Now that relates more to the E60 M5 which had the SMG2 gearbox. There's no Salmon Relay that relates to the Smg gearbox with the E60 M5. Now the other thing that causes confusion also is with the relay for the hydraulic pump. Now BMW have this listed on their system as an orange relay, but it is actually black. So whenever you're ordering it, as long as you stick to the part number, you're going to get the right one. Just when they look on their system, it's going to show it as an orange one, but this is the correct relay. I'll put the part numbers in the description below. Okay, so you might be sitting there watching this video thinking to yourself, alright MTech Guy, you've got a Smg gearbox that runs good as gold. Now why are you spending money on parts and changing out relays when there's no real need to right now? And fair enough, that's a fair question. Now one thing you've got to keep in mind is with relays they do deteriorate over time, and now this car's 15 years old. I don't know whether these were changed out 2-3 years ago, 10 years ago. It could have the original ones in for all I know, and it probably has. Now with them deteriorating over time, what that does is that can have a negative effect on the operation of your gearbox, on the Smg gearbox, and ultimately when they fail, especially the black one here for the hydraulic pump, that'll leave you stranded because it won't allow you to start the car. So the engine's computer, if it sees that that pump won't prime initially when you unlock the car or when you open the door, then it won't allow you to start the car. It's like a fail-safe system. Now these relays can fail at any time, so it could be a case of you're driven out to the middle of nowhere, next thing you know you jump back in your car and the car won't start because the relay's failed. So I'm changing these out on my own terms today, and then what we'll do is the two that in the car at the moment, they are currently working fine. So what I'll do is I'll chuck them in the boot of the car, and then that gives me some options in a few years time if these do happen to fail prematurely. The parts are relatively cheap, it's a fairly easy job to get the relays changed out, so why the heck wouldn't you? Okay, let's go and see where these relays live. Alright, so in most of my videos, when I'm referring to one side of the car or the other, I always talk about right hand side or left hand side. Now that refers to as if you were sat in the car in the driver's seat. Obviously this would be the right hand side looking out the windshield. Now I try and avoid talking about passenger sides and driver's sides because here in New Zealand we drive on the left hand side of the road, which means the car's a right hand drive vehicle. This is the driver's side, so that's why I normally refer to right hand side and left hand side of the car rather than driver's side, passenger side. Does that make sense? Probably not. Anyway, it's a bit different with this. So the fuse box is always on the passenger side. Doesn't matter which country you're in, which side of the car is the driver's side. So this being a right hand drive car, that's the driver's side, that's the fuse box in there, that's where the relays live. If this is your driver's side of the car, that's where your relays will live. So of course, this being right hand drive, that's what we'll be taking a look at today. Okay, so first up, to gain access, we need to remove the cabin air filter cover and the filter itself. So we'll start off by undoing the clips here. Just pull that metal clip back, and then we've got a plastic nut here. Now it's a 13mm, and we're just going to get our ratchet here, turn that 90 degrees, and that should lift up and out. Okay, then once that's out the way, we're going to remove the retainer that holds the two halves of the cowling together. So to do that, there's a wee clip there. We're just going to grab that, pull it up, and pull the retainer towards ourselves and lift it out. Then next we want to remove the weather strip. So that's nice and easy, just pull it up and out of the way. And we've got some more of them 13mm plastic nuts. You've got one here, and then 3 more here, 4 altogether. So we're just going to use our 13mm ratchet and just turn them 90 degrees. Just undo them. And then we're ready to take a T27 Torx bit, and we're going to remove this Torx bolt right down here. So we'll use our 1/4" ratchet for that one too. That's that out of the way, and then we're ready to lift this piece up and out of the way. And now you can see we've got access to our fuse box here. Alright, so to gain access to the relays we need to remove this plastic over here off the fuse box itself. Now we need to start off by removing these Allen bolts here. There's 6 of them altogether around the perimeter, and we're going to use a 5mm Allen key to get them out. Okay, so once we've got all the Allen bolts removed, we're going to grab hold of the edge of the lid and lift it up carefully and remove it. Okay, so when we look inside the fuse box here, no matter which side of the car that it's on, the 2 relays that we're looking for is we've got the one for the Smg hydraulic pump there, and then this pale green one here, that's the one for your gear oil pump. So it's these 2 that we're looking at. Okay, so we've got the first relay removed there, so it's just a case of grabbing hold of it and just teasing it out there. Just pull up on it, it should come out. If it's been sitting in there for quite some time, it might be fairly tight. I try and avoid using pliers on them or anything. As long as you get hold of it, a firm grip, it should come out eventually without too much trouble. Okay, so we've got the next one out here, the pale green one, the one for the gear oil pump. Now, when you do remove it, just keep a record of the orientation of it. If that means taking photos, making a sketch, whatever, just make sure that the new one goes back in the same orientation. And then before you do change them out, just compare it to the new one. That's the old one, this is the new one. And they do have the part numbers on the side of the relays there, so just double check that you've got exactly the correct part. And then we're ready to install the new one. Alright, so there we have it. We've got the 2 new relays installed there. So now we're ready to start piecing everything back together. So that'll be the fuse box cover on first, and then the cowl, and then we're all good to go. That's everything back together, that's that job sorted, and hopefully it'll give me a few years of service without any trouble. Alright, so if you found the video useful, be sure to go and check out the rest of my channel. There's lots of M5 content on there, and if you are finding the videos of value, make sure you like and subscribe, it does mean a great deal to me. I'm MTech Guy, thanks for watching.